They're at war with everybody. They're at war with us, and they're at war with Western civilization.
Over on CNN, you can see they're very conflicted about this entire thing, as always. However, they do have Scott Jennings, and he here, I think, lays out what I just illustrated, which is that if we don't lead the world, someone else will. It will probably be China. That's not good. And also that 3 American troops did die over the weekend.
It is going to have some impact on the economy of China, because that's where they get their oil, from Iran. And what we did in Venezuela, what we did in China, or what we did in Iran has as much to do with China, I think, as anything. I also want to say, may God rest the souls of those troops. But they died in a noble cause. And as Buddy said, 47 years, Americans are dead, the largest state sponsor of terrorism in the world. I totally disagree with you about the threat not being imminent. I spoke to very senior administration officials yesterday. They believe that the Iranian regime was about to fire ballistic missiles, not at the United States, but into U.S. military bases and civilian targets.
Okay, so there's a couple of things here that he's addressing. As I said earlier, we now have Venezuelan oil, right? Now, America has plenty of oil anyway, but it's always nice to have a little more oil. So I don't think, as Scott just hinted at right there, that the Venezuelan operation a month ago is disconnected from this. I think this was another way of, in the Venezuela case, we're protecting our hemisphere, right? Our side of the world, great resources over there. And Trump probably was going, boy, we know that this war is in the offing in the Middle East, and actually to calm markets as it relates to oil, let's make sure that we have some Venezuelan oil. So that's one thing that was good. He also points out that the Chinese, who are the only other real superpower, right? Russia isn't. Russia's a threat because they have a massive military and nukes and everything else. But it's us and China, right, that are in the real race to lead the world. And he points out that China gets most of their oil from Iran. So if Iran, not only is Iran they've been funding terrorism literally all over the world, not just the Middle East, but in Latin America and in the United States and elsewhere. They've been doing that, but they're also selling oil to China. So now if China's oil is cut off a little bit, maybe China has to behave a little bit better. You think that might be? If you're wondering how to get a sense of what might happen next, one place you can check is Polymarket. It's surprisingly insightful. You're essentially watching thousands of people put real money on real-world outcomes, political elections, major policy decisions, even unexpected global events. It works like a live pulse of what the public actually believes. You can see trends forming and momentum shifting, sometimes before it shows up in mainstream headlines. For example, the public's take on whether the U.S. will strike Iran, if the U.S. will do a ground operation on the cartel in Mexico, and even what Trump will say during his State of the Union address. It's not about gambling, it's about understanding possibilities. If you follow the news and want a deeper look at where expectations are moving, it's a fascinating tool to add to your routine. Here's Jennings also talking a bit more about just Trump's ethos when it comes to defending this country.
He's the guy who's going to bring peace and not start wars.
Yeah, and he is bringing peace. Iran has been at war with us for 47 years. The central pillar of the regime is death to America. The other pillar is death to Israel, who is our ally. They have been at war with us. They have been killing American personnel and American soldiers for nearly 5 decades. This is not an attempt to start a war. This is an attempt to prevent further conflict. This is an attempt to get the largest state sponsor of terror off the field. This is an attempt to stabilize the Middle East. I don't view this, Ashley, as starting a war as much as ending the people who are the preeminent terror threat in the world. They're at war with everybody. They're at war with us, and they're at war with Western civilization.
This is a serious question, because we have seen regimes fall and countries not be stabilized. And so what's next?
Well, gosh, I don't know. I mean, what if we leave a country that for the next 47 years kills Americans, kills American personnel, funds terror around the world? That's what we have now. That's what we couldn't have it any worse now. What comes next?
We couldn't.
We actually don't know.
No, we don't know, actually.
That the Iranian people rise up and take control of their country.
We don't.
I just checked, and now it turns out with Iran, with the Ayatollah and the mullahs going down, the only other organized group that its central pillar is death to America is the Democrat Party. I just checked that. Yes, again, Scott is making the point. This is a different world. And this is why I think my overriding for every TV appearance and everything I make over the next couple weeks, I will repeatedly say that Donald Trump deserves our trust right now. There's clearly been a plan here, right? And so much of this is to the backdrop of October 7th, and that it's enough of endless jihad all over the place.